Asian Boss Girl is brought to you by Anchor, an easy way to make your podcast and get it out into the world. It's free, has creation tools that allow you to record and edit right from your phone or computer, and will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can also make money from your podcast on Anchor with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Here at ABG, Asian Boss Girl, we're big fans of music and audio content. Spotify is one of our favorite platforms. They have a huge catalog of podcasts on every topic, including the one you're listening to right now. On Spotify, you can follow your favorite podcast so you never miss an episode. If you're a premium user, you can download episodes to listen to offline. And you can easily share what you're listening to with your friends on Instagram. Download the Spotify app, search for ABG, Asian Boss Girl, or browse podcasts in the Your Library tab. Make sure to follow us so you never miss an episode of Asian Boss Girl. Welcome to ABG, Asian Boss Girl, a podcast for the modern-day Asian American woman. My name is Helen.
I'm Janet.
I'm Mel.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Mike.
It's an age-old point of contention, discussion, and oftentimes frustration. The differences between men and women, and of course, nowadays with all the variations of gender identity, the complexity continues to grow. Just how different is the opposite sex or sexes? Are men, and all those who identify as male, really from Mars? And are women, or all those who identify as female, really from Venus? Today, we have invited two very special ABB guests to explore just how different or similar ABGs and ABBs really are. This will be an open forum and a safe space to ask each other any and all questions we may have about the opposite sex. So let's start with some introductions. Who do we have with us here today?
Hi, guys. I'm Justin. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Jason. I am...
Justin's his twin.
Justin's my twin, yeah. So my name's Jason, and I'm from Seattle, Washington. I moved down here about 4.5 years ago to pursue YouTube and music. I'm so happy to be here today to join this conversation, guys, because I know we always have a lot of juicy conversations when we're hanging out, but... it's going to be on mic this time, which will be a little weird and a little different.
Is
but
this your first time?
Fun. Yeah,
first time doing something like this?
Yes, it is.
Whoa.
First time ever having juicy topics on mic.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oh, also, Jason, how old are you?
I'm 28.
And are you actively dating?
In 2019, I was actively dating. I've definitely slowed down now, trying to just focus on myself this year.
If you want to see a visual of his face, J-Rod Twins is his channel on YouTube. He has a great, amazing voice.
Thank you.
And then we have Mr. Mike Bow over here. Mike, why don't you introduce yourself?
What's up, guys? My name is Mike Bow, and I'm the biggest ABG fan of all time.
He actually listens to every episode.
Yes.
I've listened to every episode. I am an actor in LA, originally from Queens, New York, and I also do YouTube and funny videos on Instagram, a lot of pun-related dad jokes. I'm like the dad joke master at this point.
You are.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, you can see me on a couple different shows and been auditioning out in LA and really like doing roles that break Asian male stereotypes.
Love it.
Awesome.
And are you dating?
Yeah, I'm single and have been dating.
Ooh, let's dive deeper into that. I feel like you have much more to say than just that. Okay, so thank you for the intros, guys. We are very excited to have you both here. So today we're going to have a sort of back and forth between the guys and the girls. You're going to ask us any questions you have, and we'll ask you too, and we'll have different topics. So health and grooming, dating, sex, love, anatomy, and random. So to start off, we'll have health and grooming. So we're going to start asking you guys questions first. First question. What is your grooming routine for all of your body parts? Do you shave, or are you using the same razor for your face and your everywhere else?
Do you want to go first?
Sure. I mean, it's not super complicated, I don't think.
Okay.
I think there's some Asian guys who can grow a full-on beard. I cannot. So usually I tend to shave every morning because otherwise what I can grow looks like, you know,
pubic hairs.
The little
pubes on your face.
Ratty, whatever. Although I have been told that like when I forget to shave a day or two, that like there's a little bit of stubble. I have been told that it's like, oh, that looks nice. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Like a shadow, like a 5 o'clock shadow.
Right. Barely a shadow. Because it's like on the little goatee area over here. I've been using like a razor because there's not that much beardage, so it's only been like a razor. But I recently got, is it
an electric
buzzer?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was on set the other day, and I guess because the razor sometimes actually doesn't go like as far down as you need to be. And then I was in this marine role, and Marines are clean shaven.
Yeah.
So even though I had like some specklies, they were like, specklies? Is that the specklies? I got some specklies over there. They said to use this like electric thing and to like really get in. And I'm like, oh, okay. And for auditions, I have to be like younger sometimes, or for these marine roles. So I just got one on Black Friday.
Oh, wow.
It was like less than $20. It was great. I'm like, oh, wow, opened up my whole world.
Do you shave other parts of your body?
Not shave.
Let's be real, Asians. We don't got it going on here, but we got it going everywhere. It's a forest everywhere else, right?
Is it?
Mike, or maybe Mike's just baby smooth everywhere. But I mean, I'm
Wait, are you actually? Like, you grow a lot of hair?
not here, but I mean, like, I
Jason's,
have pretty
Jason's
But like, you don't
showing
grow
us
like
his,
chest hair.
chest. Well, yeah,
Underarm,
chest hair
yeah.
I don't, but like, I'm talking like armpit. I'm talking like
But
all the places
crack.
that don't see the sun.
I don't think you've seen like our white friends. We are like Ali Wong said. We're like
That's true.
dolphins.
That's true. It's
We
true.
don't have a lot of hair. It's
Wait,
like
Mike,
it's
you
like
said you-
located in like specific places.
It is.
It's not
It
like
is. It is.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So you said you don't shave,
Yeah, I don't like shave, like clean shave,
but you do other things for other parts of your body
like
that are
trim.
hair.
Yeah,
Okay, so you trim.
Do you use
Trim.
scissors to trim, or what do you guys use to trim?
the buzzer. Yeah. So I mean, I did
Take
have
an
like
electrical item near your junk.
yeah. No, well, it's like because there's like safety things. Like
Oh, there's like a guard.
Gives guard. Yeah.
Ooh, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you shave your balls?
No.
Oh.
No, like shaving like
Yeah.
with a razor or anything.
Okay, got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do?
Me?
Yeah.
Me? Well, all right, guys, let's keep it real. So my face, all throughout high school and college, I would always keep it clean shaven. I would use a razor. I actually didn't know the electrical things actually keep it super like flesh on the skin.
Yeah. And you don't need shaving cream either. People are just rubbing it
Yeah,
on the face.
I always thought it kept it longer, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Right? Because you think a blade gets.
Blades.
Wait,
Yeah.
So you use it. So what do you use then?
So I just use like these cheap green disposable.
the ones you get from the hotel?
Yeah. Funny story. My stepdad used to be a purchasing manager at Hilton, and he would have unlimited supply of just a bunch of just random like hotel things like razors, toothbrushes,
Yeah.
all that soap. And he would just like
Gift it to you.
he would steal it. He would steal it. He would steal it. He doesn't work there anymore, so he's good.
So what parts of your body have you used all of those razors on?
I've used it on almost every part of my body. I think in high school I tried shaving my legs before,
Oh, wow.
just because like my hair would always be so patchy. So I'm like, do I want it patchy and awkward looking, or do I want it just like fully just smooth and consistent?
You've shaved your legs, dude?
I have.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Well, I mean, I don't shave it anymore because I have so many scars on my legs now. So I'd rather just like I'd
Hide it.
yeah, I'd
Hide
rather
the
keep
scars.
keep the scars hidden. So yeah, the face. I think as I age, I'm slowly starting to like embrace my aging more. So I'm like, okay, the bags are coming in, the hair is becoming a little more thick, and I kind of just want to embrace the 30-year-old looking adulting type of appearance now. So yeah, so I just kind of let it grow. I mean, I shaved for today, even though our faces aren't going to be on camera at all.
We'll take a
But-
photo later.
All right. As far as like down in the lower extremities, I pretty similar to Mike. I actually use like a little clipper. It's like a mini AA battery one, and yeah, I just put like a 1 on there, and I keep it cleanly trimmed, but I don't go flush on the skin.
How long is the hair that you're leaving? Like, what's the length that you're trimming towards for both of you?
Mine's like pretty short. Like pretty
Oh,
short.
that's really
So it's
short.
almost like a buzz cut?
Yeah, it's yeah, sort of even shorter than a buzz cut. It's like pretty
that uncomfortable?
It's like pretty. It's almost like if you see like a white dude with facial hair or something, and he's like just like maybe a few days out of.
Oh.
That's
So
so
it is-
short.
That's very
Oh.
well trimmed.
Yeah, so it's like it's pretty in there, but it's not like fully clean
Yeah.
flush to the
It's
skin.
not a bush. Yeah.
Yeah, and
not
then-
not
and
too
then-
flush. Yeah.
And then you get those like bumps too sometimes if you like shave too
Ingrowns.
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
ingrown hairs. Yeah.
Mike, is it longer than a centimeter?
It depends how I'm feeling, you know. It depends what type of day it is.
Valentine's Day?
If it's Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's your birthday?
It's my birthday. That is
Oh,
my
that's right, that's
birthday.
right, that's right.
Yeah, it's similar.
Oh, I didn't know it was that short. I thought it would be longer.
I mean,
like
there's
an inch.
preferences.
It's
Well,
preference.
actually, yeah. So, what's the female preference?
That's a good question. I think as long as it's like not too bushy, I'm okay with. Like when you describe just like a fingernail inch or centimeter, I was like, oh wow, that's very well maintained.
It makes everybody happy.
Yeah, that's a good place, I think, to
It's a
be.
safe length.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And also, I think if it's too much, it kind of takes away from the size sometimes, right? I don't know.
Size
if you
queen
think
right
that,
here?
right? Yeah, size queen, hey. But like,
it's true.
yeah.
It's
So
true.
it makes sense to kind of trim it a little bit
Yeah.
shorter. And so, Mike, when you were talking about like you like to get the really clean, close to your skin shave, have you ever waxed before? Because that pulls out the hair follicle so that it's like completely just gone.
No, I've never waxed. And also, because you hear the term, I guess, Brazilian wax, right?
That means just
Everything.
hair fully
Yeah.
gone.
Completely.
It's like even
front to back.
Yeah.
Can guys get Brazilian wax?
Oh, yeah.
Is that-
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it's not like
Yeah,
a
a female only
thing.
thing. No,
Okay.
no.
Yeah,
That's
I don't-
wild.
Oh, have you?
Huh?
You said
No,
it's wild, like
Yeah,
you've been there.
No. I haven't, but I've had an older sister for my whole entire life,
Yeah.
and she's 7 years older than me. So from a very young age, she even had her own little wax kit that
Oh, so she would wax herself.
she'd wax herself. Yeah.
Did you ever steal her wax kit and experiment a little on
Yeah,
yourself?
well, yeah, she waxed her eyebrows quite a bit, and so she would do mine for fun and stuff. So yeah.
Well, it's interesting too because I think a lot of times growing up anyway, the opinion of girls motivated a lot of this grooming stuff, right? So it's like it's considered manly, right, to have hair. So you're kind of like trying to do a balancing. Like, wait, how much? You don't want to be based on representations like hair, hairy arms, hairy chest.
Right.
It seems to be that's the masculine thing. So it's like, oh, so maybe I shouldn't go too much with the cut in the hair. You know? So
Yeah.
that's always something that I considered growing up.
Yeah, I actually was thinking about when you asked like the preference for women. I think having a little hair for the guy is good. Like if a guy was totally bare down there, I don't know if I would enjoy that.
Yeah, I think in a previous episode, I think I mentioned like, oh yeah, I don't mind shaved, and you both were like, what? Like a young adolescent. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? That looks weird.
Yeah.
I would prefer a little bit of hair.
Did you have that experience recently, and that's why you're like, oh shit, I don't like that?
No, I think I had more
Just
experience
visual.
with the other, and I'm like, oh, I actually enjoy a little bit more of hair.
Got it.
Down there.
Are you like specific like man? Because I know girls talk.
Yeah, we do.
Girls talk like details. So
On
you're like,
this podcast.
yo, that was like an inch of hair, man. Or like, no, that was like 2 inches of hair. You know, like, are you like specific or are you like whatever?
We haven't talked about like the inch of the hair. I think it hasn't stood out to us for like, oh, that was weird.
Yeah.
But the only thing we talk about is maybe like smell down there.
Valid.
Because if it's too long, or then it
Oh,
becomes-
collects
scent,
sweat.
and then we'll be like,
Right.
oh yeah, it wasn't really fun being down there because the scent was.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
It's the same for women
Unless
too.
they condition, you know?
Yeah.
Or Pantene Pro V.
I know, right? Well, speaking of Pantene Pro V and like just like hygiene or bathing routines, do you guys scrub your legs when you're in the shower or let the water clean you?
That's actually a good one. Like shower like routine.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I probably scrub my legs like once a week. I'm not kidding. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Actually, more like when I entered adulthood, I think I started becoming more aware of how much surface area on my body I've been like neglecting. Yeah, I'm like, okay, did I scrub my belly button? Did I scrub my back, my legs?
That makes sense. That's why guys are so quick in the shower. It's like, oh, in out.
Because you're not actually washing your
Yeah.
whole body.
And the legs are more than half your body.
Yeah.
But I do have a loofah, and every time I do scrub my legs, I scrub really hard.
You got a loofah?
I have a
Dude,
loofah.
nice.
What do you like? Do you do?
No, I ain't that fancy.
You're just bare hands.
I got my soap bar.
Oh, wow.
soap bar, dude.
Yeah, wait, what is that?
That's so old school.
Irish Spring.
I'm classic. I'm a classic shower.
So, Mike, do you scrub your legs?
So yeah, define a scrub.
Like, do you would you take your soap and then rub it on your legs? Or do
Yeah.
Are you
Oh.
cleaning your legs?
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like not that long. Like it's like
It's like a one run of the soap.
and done.
Actually, same. I actually do that too. I kind of want to take
Don't
that
backtrack.
back. I do. No, like even
Mister, I wash my leg once a week.
sometimes, like okay. So when I'm shampooing my hair too, if I'm doing a very express clean,
You a car wash? What the?
Yeah, ooh, the deals are good.
sometimes I'll even just use my shampoo. This is not often, by the way, guys. Whoever's listening, okay, I'm not a dirty person, but sometimes I'll use my shampoo and I'll just kind of go like, I don't know how to describe it, but I'll just like
Take
kinda
the soap?
I'll like use my hand and I'll just go all the way down like that and just call it good. Yeah, so I'll just use my shampoo and I just wash my entire body with it.
That's hilarious.
2 in 1.
One of the questions we got from a listener was, why do they use shampoo, body wash, or face, body, and hair? Like
You guys
3 in
kind of just
1?
neglect. It's like if it's just like a soap item, it's just good for all over.
Like, Mike, do you use your bar soap for your face as well?
Right. I don't have like a specific face wash.
Wow.
Wait, what?
That's very.
You have really good skin though.
I know. So I'm
bar soap.
I'm debunking every brand right now. Also, your brother Justin, we were at a hotel. We're all at a trip or something together.
Yeah.
In hotels, the lotion that they have is like body lotion. Right?
Yeah.
So
You
then
put that on your face. You did not.
That was Justin's reaction right there. He was like, "Are you putting that on your face?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?"
Oh my gosh.
He's
There's
like,
so much like fragrance and like bad chemicals in there.
Clogging up the pores.
If you want Mike Bo's skin, use body lotion on your
Bar
face.
soap and hotel body lotion.
I see a lot of my guy friends like 3-in-1 Dove shampoo or Dove body wash shampoo. Da, da, da. Do you guys have those type of products, or do you separate? Like, I have a conditioner, I have a shampoo, and I have a body wash.
I don't have the all-in-ones.
Okay.
I think recently I heard like you shouldn't shampoo your hair like every day, and like there's a lot of people that like don't like natural oil, so it's mostly just like the soap.
So you're one bar soap just all over for everything.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's like this specific one that like is not even made anymore, but I've always gotten compliments about the smell of it. So now this is all definitely feedback, female driven. Like, I like this, great, I'm gonna keep doing that. You know.
Okay.
But now I'm in trouble because it's like an old soap that they don't make anymore.
Is
So I have to
it-
like track it down.
Is it that one like yellowy, orangey bar?
No, it's a blue one.
This is literally guys' conversation. Can you use a yellowy orange one? Oh, the blue one. Get that one, man.
Get that blue one, man.
All right.
I feel like the whole like industry probably because like women are always told like make sure to start taking care of your skin. Like
Yeah.
Koreans and like babies, like they start putting like expensive products on their face, but at the end of the day, like both of your skin looks so good,
Really good.
from just a bar of soap. And here we are.
I don't use bar soap.
You,
We didn't talk about
sorry.
Do you have special face wash?
You're very specific with your skincare.
So I'm not specific.
Oh, Justin is.
But my brother is, and since I'm his, I don't know if I said I was a twin.
Yeah.
My brother's super duper into skincare. I just sort of let him take control of all the products I
You guys
use.
should do an experiment. Like he'll actually focus on good skin products, and then you just use a bar
Bar
soap
soap.
or your shampoo on
We
your face
should.
and see what happens.
We should.
Yeah.
That would be a good experiment.
Yeah.
One more question, shower related. Do you guys pee in the shower?
1, 2, 3.
Sometimes.
Explain yourselves. Or
Jason's like,
Yo, we're in a drought, and sometimes you that wastes water, right? And it's all going down the drain.
Yeah, totally.
You know what changed my mind recently? Because I did like Spartan races recently,
Yeah.
right? And like so you're showering off mud. I'm like, oh, my pee is definitely cleaner than mud, and I shower dirty stuff off my body all the time.
Yep.
You know.
It's a true perspective. Yeah.
Anyway, but I mean, sometimes not.
It's true.
yeah, I mean it's efficient, right?
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, every time I peed in the shower, I would pretend it was like a carnival game. You would shoot at the thingy. Ooh, ding, you just kind of spray at the
That's why you're so good at that game. Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. And
Between
as long
the
as
loofahs and the games, I don't know. Just showering with you is like an adventure.
here's the thing though, I'm very considerate after I
Shoot
pee
your-
in the shower. This is kind of a very specific thing that I do. Like sometimes I'll get some shampoo or body wash, whatever I have, and I'll just kind of like drizzle it around the shower. And if there's a hand hose, I'll go and like
So you're
just
washing
bubble
it.
it up, everywhere. And,
Oh,
like-
okay.
And then like at the
Yeah.
bottom of the drain, I don't know if you guys know this. This is a very plumbing thing, but there's a thing called a pee trap.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know
no,
what the
I
pee trap?
know the ring
pee
trap
trap.
in case my ring fell into the drain.
yeah.
It's like a trap for things. Yeah.
Yeah, not the ring trap
Okay.
or the
it's a pee trap.
the little screen. Yeah, sometimes
Okay.
there's like a screen or whatever. Underneath that, there's like a little tube that bends like a U-turn, and there's water that sits down there to prevent sewage odor from coming up. So whatever water comes down, if you're showering and the last thing you do is pee, there's chances are pee is going to be sitting down in that pee trap. It's called a pee trap pipe because it's shaped as a pee. It goes like that. Yeah, don't ever pee at the end of the shower. Pee at the beginning of the shower.
Interesting.
So that makes sense. Yeah,
Good to know.
fun facts.
Fun facts.
So how about you ladies? The peeing in the shower thing. What do you think about that? Is that like a red flag or something? Or is it like whatever?
I'm actually really curious too. Like, does it just
Like,
like kind of
yeah.
spray everywhere? Like, is there like
Or-
adjustments where you can like?
Or even any of the things that we said, is any of it like, oh yeah, that's a big deal or not? Or was it all just trivial knowledge?
I didn't know about like the informational stuff about like the pee trap thing, but I think for me, I don't mind if a guy pees in the shower because I pee in the shower. But the thing is, I don't want to be together while you're peeing in the shower and I'm next to you in the shower.
True.
That's weird.
True. I also am efficient. with my showering
my-
and peeing.
Oh my god, same here. I feel like when I talked about this with other people, they're like, ew. And I'm like, yeah. And for women, no, it doesn't spray everywhere because if you're doing it underneath the flow of the water,
it just goes.
It's all just going down.
Runs down your legs.
It runs down.
Yeah.
Run.
But the only thing I'm conscious of is like I don't want to be stepping in my pee, so I kind of like maybe like
Oh yeah.
scoot around like no.
Tiptoe around a little bit.
Oh, so it's another game.
Yeah.
You got two carnival games over here.
But I did notice this one time, like I was dating someone and I walked into the restroom and we just hop in the shower with him. He's like, "Wait, I'm peeing right now," and I and I was like,
You could smell.
I smelled it,
not-
and I was like,
yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm
Pee steam
gonna.
is gross.
Yeah, I was like, I'll come back in a bit.
Oh.
What a way to! Oh man, that's things. He's like, you're like, oh, I'm gonna
killer.
surprise him. He's in the shower, and then you walk, and he's like, oh wait, what?
Yeah, I was like, oh,
no.
I'll wait.
Yeah,
and it was
that's
like
kinda gross.
steamy. I was like, I'll just. It's okay.
In terms of different products, like the 2-in-1, I actually focus on efficiency. I tend to go for less products. So I do the shampoo conditioner in one, but I do have a separate like body wash, I guess. How many products do you have in the shower?
I have a lot of
I have
freaking
too
products. Yeah.
Like I take up all the surface
space.
space.
Oh dang. I don't take up all the surface space.
Do you have like
Okay.
a shower caddy with like 7 different products?
No, like I have 7 products on my windowsill.
Oh, for
That's
your
not,
shower.
a lot.
I've seen
but
it.
yeah.
I've showered in Mel's.
Oh, have you?
Did you
Oh.
pee in
showered
my
before.
shower?
Oh, exposed.
I
Cue crickets.
I mean, I peed in your shower.
Do you guys have another relationship that we don't know?
No, because I'm really close with Jason and Justin. So like I would do sleepovers in Orange County as like my escape from LA.
Aw.
And like they'll clean the bathroom for me, and I'm like, oh, my turn to get in.
Fun fact: Mel, Justin, and I shared a hotel room, different hotel rooms like over the span of a month or so. I
We're on
think.
tour.
Yeah, during David Choi's tour one year.
Oh, that was
so
a long time ago.
Whoa.
Oh, you guys go
long
way
time
back.
ago. We go way back.
What year was that?
2015.
So to answer your question, I think I have peed in your shower.
Gotcha.
All right, let's jump into the juicy dating questions. Jason, do you have any dating questions for these gals?
Well, let's see.
First, I just want to bring up that Jason brought a candle to like set the
Yeah.
mood. What a romantic guy.
Smells
Speaking
nice.
of dating.
Yeah, the lights are dimmed, or like the mood is set.
And Jason has a notepad. So I'm assuming you have questions for us.
I guess this is more directed towards like first impressions, I guess.
Okay.
When you're, I don't know, like checking out guys. I guess.
Okay.
What are some of the first things that you
See.
see? Yeah.
Safe question.
Visually.
Eye, smile, arms. But
Are you sure, Helen?
I mean, I can't check out as much as I used to anymore. So
True,
let me
true.
reminisce here. I think eyes and smile speak a lot to someone's personality right off the bat. And that's the first thing I see. Like, does their eyes sparkle or is it kind of like dull?
That's funny because I feel like I've heard you say like your favorite part of Phil is his eyes.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
I was wondering what you were gonna say. I was like, oh shit. Yes, eyes.
Thought you were about to expose her, bro.
I know. Mike knows a lot about us.
I have 3 things. I'm a big face person. I'm really attracted to a well-structured face and kind of like a more boyish look, I think. And then secondly, height. I like kind of a tall, lankier guy. And then third thing is good arms and hands.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. That's like a big, yeah. So those would be kind of in order of those 3 things.
Structure of face. What do you
Structure
mean
of
by that?
face. The
Like
kind of,
chiseled?
like more chiseled, not the square Brad Pitt box look. I'm not really into that.
Box look.
But
The
I
triangle
mean,
face.
yeah, more of the triangle face and just generally like boyish looks. I like that. And then the height or the build being particularly likely. So it doesn't have to be like super tall, but I like kind of a lankier build.
We know, questionably gay.
Yeah,
that's
my
her type.
Metrosexual. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Questionably gay, is that what you said?
Yeah. Usually when we think a guy may be gay,
That's Janet's type.
Yeah.
Wow. So like counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And with the boyish look, because I think that can be misconstrued like, as a guy hearing that.
Right.
Like, what do you mean by boyish look? What's a boyish look to you?
How
like,
would I
is that
describe
like that's not juvenile boyish?
No, I'm not
look.
I'm not
Like
trying to be a
young.
cougar.
Yeah. Or, I mean, like
My
One
job.
Direction-y, Justin Bieber, like, the youth, high school, boyish.
I mean, I
Or-
think you kind of explained it a little bit, right?
More
Would
like,
it fall
I
under?
guess like a youthful, I don't know. How
like a K-pop guy, but you're not
not,
into K-pop
yeah.
guys,
No,
though.
that's a good, not really like feminine, but just like,
Do you have a celebrity example?
like a youthful,
Keanu, he's
like,
like Keanu Reeves.
He doesn't look boyish though.
But he
Actually, no,
doesn't
you like
look really
freaking
boyish.
Abraham Lincoln, okay? Let's be real here. That guy is chiseled and tall and lanky.
that's
and
true, that's
Abraham
true.
Lincoln.
But and his face is well structured, but he doesn't really have a boyish look. But
Does a
don't
guy
know.
The guy that came into my head when you were describing Timothée Chalamet.
Oh my God, yes.
Okay.
That is,
Oh.
yeah, he is
Oh,
my
she just
crush,
came in her
but
pants.
Who's Timothy
He's too
Chalamet?
young, and I feel like, but yes, I think he's very good looking.
Okay, yeah, because he has the chisel.
Yeah,
He's boyish.
Really? Yeah.
He's killing it right now. He's a
Yeah,
little
he's
woman.
all over.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is the look that I find really attractive and
Got it.
attractive.
I know exactly. I could list like 5 people right now.
Helen, interesting. But I think the first things I notice in a man is smile and eyes. Mm-hmm. I kind of noticed their build right away. I was like, oh, I kind
Yeah.
of like this body type. I have a certain I'm drawn to certain body types.
Yeah, the muscular.
A little bit.
Mel does
Actually,
like the more built. I like the more lanky. She likes the guy that works out.
so Janet's like maybe metrosexual gay. Your type is probably like maybe fuckboy, maybe not.
Yeah.
Very true.
That's true.
Yeah.
It is weird. But the thing is, I don't like guys who work out too, like the look that's too much.
If I had a nickel, or every time I heard that from a girl,
Really? Yeah. Because like The Rock is too big.
like I want them to have a nice body, but I don't want them to like be totally obsessed with their diet. It's like, well, you gotta got it, guys.
The type of body type I've been into, I notice, is like the type of Asian guys that are really scrawny, like growing up, and then they start going to the gym, and then they start building, like filling out their muscle and their body mass.
Psychologically, like they must have
Yeah.
not been used to being.
Ooh, that's deep.
Because I think the guys I've dated, like 2 of them specifically, told me like they're like, I wasn't like this growing up. I was kind of lanky, and then I started working out, and I was like, oh. And I think there's a little sense of they don't feel like they're super hot because they grew up feeling kind of lanky. So
For
I'm
sure.
kind of like that.
So there's a little bit more humility there.
Yeah. But the fuckboy
Cinderella
look,
story.
kind of, I mean, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. What's my look? Silence.
More, Helen likes guys that are very handsome. Like that's a word. Like all the guys I've seen that you do, like very
Like classically.
classically handsome.
That's true. And athletic. I feel like you have like a drive towards the more athletic build.
Yeah.
True story.
You don't date like you don't like the fuckboy look.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, that kind of turns me off. I think I kind of associate with like immaturity a little bit too. That's
true.
So that's why I'm like over it.
Yeah. But another thing I noticed too, I also am similar to Janet. I love hands. So when I know when your body and like or your face like checks off the box for me, I go straight to your hands. I go, do I like his hands? Like on a date, when he's ordering, I look at his hands. I'm like, do I want this hand to hold me?
I was gonna say, what action? Like the whole hand holding?
I just like
Is that the first action in your head?
I just envision that's the hand that's gonna hold me. That's the hand that's gonna do a lot of things for my family
Yeah.
and for me. And that's weird. I like Asian male hands.
Huh.
That look like they've been worn in. That sounds weird.
Wait, what
That's
is
true, actually. I could tell an Asian guy hand.
Yeah, because even when I see like a white guy's hand, I don't feel like, oh, it's hot. I'm like, oh, I like an Asian guy's hand.
Interesting.
How would
That's
you
really
describe? Is it like what are the characteristics?
It's like the
of it?
nail beds. The nails. I don't like very slender looking fingers, but there's just like aesthetic thing about Asian male hands. I thought that's not like a fetish.
The guys here are staring at their hands, and I just saw Jason peek over at Mike's hands.
I mean, I feel like my hands aren't that.
No, you have really nice hands.
Me?
Because you know what it is? It's like you can tell like these are
man.
hands that
Yeah,
did
man,
work.
Those are pretty hands.
You see your
I
hands?
thought your hands are nice. Like, look
My-
at that. Super, like.
My
You guys
guys
both
my
have
guys
good
good
hands.
hands. And I also like the veiny like area where it's like they lift things.
They look
I've heard the veiny thing, like the veiny
Yeah.
forearm.
Oh,
Yeah.
love that.
When you said arms, Janet, did you mean like forearms?
Yeah, forearms all the way to the hands. I mean, I think similar to Mel, there's like probably some biological association to feeling like they're strong and they're going to take care of you, they're going to protect you and all of that.
Yeah.
So
Forearms, I agree, are like when you see like the little like
The little
crease
dent,
or the little shadow, the dent,
Yeah,
for
the
your
dent.
muscle. I'm just like,
Whoa. Hold on. What's the dent? What do you mean?
like I'm showing on my own arm because you know,
Yeah, Helen's ripped, FYI.
like this, but a little deeper.
Oh, okay.
Showing them my forearm,
I'm like
my
shaking
little
their
muscle.
forearms. Let me see.
So for the listeners, like the right above where you'd be wearing the watch, like but a little closer to the elbow.
Yeah,
there's an indentation.
Get that dent, y'all.
get that dent.
On the outside, right? On the outside.
Yeah,
of
on the outside.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys asked us what's the first thing you notice in, like a man. What's the first thing you notice or find attractive in a woman?
So imagine a woman walks into a room. What is the first thing that you notice?
Face for sure.
Yes, face for sure.
What do you look for in the face?
I would hope
Each
so,
of you.
kind of. Thigh.
I think I'm a big smile person. It's funny how there's like there's so many different types of smiles. For some reason, I think I like the frowning smile. If that makes sense.
Oh.
Like there's
What?
because there's a normal smile which is just like like the orange peel.
Yeah.
But then there's like the
little smirky
like
smile?
a smirky smile.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think back. Yeah.
That's funny.
That's
you know, it's
interesting.
because it's kind of like a
Mysterious?
I know something.
Oh.
But like you would make that smile if you just said something like, "Oh, you're gonna come to the party tonight."
Oh.
Right? You know.
I think Jason just got turned on.
That's funny, no, because I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
what you mean, dude.
I had this one girl come up to me and was like, "You're gonna go to this party tonight?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't think so." And then this is like one of the best quasi pickup lines I've ever received.
Ooh, I like this.
In terms of how it affected me. She's like, "Yeah, you going to the party tonight?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't think so." And she said, "Oh, that's a shame." Smile. And I was like, I felt that. I was like, why is it a shame? I wish I could go now. I was like, whoa.
That is a very good pickup line.
Yeah. Wow,
Because
yeah.
it insinuated so much.
Yeah, because it's subtle. It's subtle.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you're talking about first with the smirky smile, but then I realized when you described it, I was like, I think we probably used it once in our life, like the smirky.
Like it's
a
like
little
a little
sassy.
flirtatious
Yeah.
thing. It's like I'm not fully giving you a smile because I don't want to give all of me away. I don't want to expose all of myself. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of like a mysteriousness. Yeah.
There's always a little linger too. It's like, yeah, and it's like, the little moment of
Oh,
tension.
I like it. Yes. Good.
That's a good one.
Some people just have it naturally, though.
Wait, Jason, do you have anything like a smile or
So I'm just gonna be straight up. Like I tend to work
top down?
Top down.
Yeah, top down. Top down. I think it's like
That's interesting,
The
'cause-
general rule.
It's not necessarily, if you look at movies, some movies are like bottom up.
That's true.
True.
Actually, that's usually the more traditional way
Yeah.
that they.
True. I pay attention a lot to like girls' hair and their
Okay.
makeup and stuff, and
Yeah.
maybe even
It's like how put together they are.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say eyes. I think eyes are one of the more important ones for me because you can just read a lot from just looking at someone's eyes. You can just sort of see. You can see happiness. You can see pain. You can see suffering. Sometimes you can see they're happy, but they're hiding something. So you can tell a lot. You can tell a lot. Even like people's eyebrows too, like the way it's shaped and the way they move it when they're talking too. You can tell a lot from just a lot
Wow,
of
it's
a
like
lot of little things going on
Facial
on the
analyst
face.
here.
I'm very self-conscious of my eyebrows.
I don't know. We're like,
how it's
what
moving.
face am I? What am I saying with
Yeah.
my eyes?
Like, now I want to smirk and not move at the same time.
But then, beyond all those great things, I'd say I'm a booty guy.
Booty. Okay.
You just went
I'm a
straight
booty guy.
there. Okay.
That's actually a good. Yeah, Mike. What if there was a body part that stands out beyond the smile, second to the smile?
Yeah, I mean, well, besides personality, you mean?
Yeah, of course.
I was gonna say posture is a big one. So like everything is accentuated
like,
from the with the posture, right? So like all that stuff, like
Yeah.
like
So the way they hold themselves in a room, kind of thing.
right, yeah. And it's actually funny because I think I've heard a lot of female friends being scared of like weightlifting because they're like, oh, I don't want to look too big. But I've generally been more attracted to those body types where it's like, oh, they have nicer shoulders and posture.
more structured.
And clearly because they worked on it, so that's why they have those types of bodies.
I feel like nowadays the trend is more also like the super curvy, like when you say booty, right? Like sometimes it's like the huge booty that like
Yeah.
like
The
what kind of
Kim
muscles
Kardashian.
do they have in there where they can like flip it and reverse it and like
Yeah.
like do you want that kind of a booty or you want like just a nice perky booty?
I think there's a limit, right?
There's definitely a limit for sure. Yeah, and like nowadays people are getting injections now and stuff. You don't even know like what's real, what's not real and stuff. So I think as I age, those are things I pay less attention to for sure.
But like what kind of
Butt.
butt that you butt.
What's your ideal
like
butt?
a
Solid
fit
butt. Like a fit butt?
Fit butt.
Yeah, fit butt.
Fit butt.
Like a Fitbit,
Fit
but a fit
butt.
butt.
I think the same thing with like, I guess, boobs too. Like, because when people hear like, oh, so you just like big boobs or something, it's like, no, there's like a limit to that. It's like,
So our next question is around breakups. What is going on in a guy's mind after a breakup? And then also even during. So while you're doing the breakup and then right after, what are the things that you're thinking and feeling?
Have you guys had a recent breakup? Let's start with that.
I've only had one breakup from like a girlfriend, like full on like DTR girlfriend. It was a 4-year relationship. And like, yeah, the next question I was going to say was, are you the one who initiated the breakup or are you the one broken up with?
Let's talk about if you are initiating the breakup, knowing that this is something you're going to have to do. What are you thinking about? How are you feeling?
I have never done that.
Ooh. Or then maybe then the opposite.
The only other
the other one. That's a very specific, interesting thing because it was my first ever dating experience. Like I feel like I would definitely handle it differently now. In a sad way, I think everyone should go through a big breakup in their lives because you learn so much about yourself. Because it was my first dating relationship. They were like my whole like world, right? Like the whole roller coaster ride of dating was just them. So I had no other frame of reference. So when it's cut off, you're kind of like, how do I become independent again? So it's really hard because you're kind of, even biologically, you're like addicted too, right? So you have to figure out how to like force yourself to fall out of love, but you learn how to become stronger. And someone once said, alone actually just means all one. So how to become that again.
Ooh,
I like that.
Quote
Yeah.
that one. Yes.
So I learned a lot about myself, but it was tough.
What did you learn about yourself?
You can't change it from being bad to good. I think that's the initial reaction. You're like, yeah, the situation is bad. How can I make it, transform it to be good? It's almost like a funeral. Like if a close friend died, you know you want to transform it, like let's make them become alive again. But they're just not gonna. It's gonna be a bad situation no matter what. So you have to be able to mourn for it and like accept that it's bad or sad. And then how do we move forward from there? What I learned was like, it didn't take away from any of the good times that we had together. The danger, right, is like some people could be like, oh, I hate this person and no, they're terrible. And like, I'm so regret ever being with them. But I don't. Like, there was like a big chapter of my life and taught me a lot about myself. And we're still cool too. But, you know, she's back in New York and everything. So, but you kind of learn that aspect. Like, it's bad, but you can move on from it. And it was a good chapter that just is no longer with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's also like a misconception, or people assume that when guys are going through breakups, like they're like sleeping around or like using other women to like get over the breakup. But do you think that's true?
Yeah, how did you get over?
In my case, I did not. I did not have any like reboundy situations.
You didn't feel it wasn't like you felt an urge to do that either. Or did you?
I think because I think this was the era of like dating apps and stuff. So I think I tried like, okay, let's try putting yourself out there, right? And doing that. But dating apps still and have not ever worked for me really. So like that didn't pan out. I truly had to find it within myself. There was no one like to replace her with. I didn't have that person to replace her with.
It sounds like, I mean, you're describing it that it was a very emotional experience for you. A lot of my girlfriends, when they first break up, they almost can't date someone. Like emotionally, they're like, I go on the date physically and I'm just like not there. I can't feel anything. And they wonder, sometimes the stereotype is that guys can just go and they just like mindlessly. But it sounds like for you, even if you had gone on a date, you might have still emotionally, like there was a preference to still not feel for another person. Or
that's interesting, right? Like if I don't know, but like if I was in a situation where this other girl was like swooping in or hollering at me, would I have been like in the middle of the date, like, you know, PTSD or something? You know, I don't know. That's interesting.
Could have been closed off.
That never happened.
So you've only had one girlfriend your whole life?
Yeah, one like
Official.
you were my girl. Like
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah. It's funny. It's kind of the reverse as a lot of our friends, because I feel like a lot of our friends had like casual or shorter relationships, and a lot of them want to experience a full-on relationship. Right?
Yeah.
She was my first ever date kiss, you know?
Aw.
And that was a 4-year relationship. So like I kind of did the reverse. Like I like started off with the relationship, like meeting family and trips and Valentine's Days, birthdays, Valentine's/birthdays, you know, like Christmas, all that stuff. Yeah, so I have like had the reverse experience.
Were you like gonna get married?
No, because we were young.
Okay, you guys were
definitely young. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that wasn't like a situation. But however, Phil has this area of life when you graduate, which he says like a lot of relationships don't make it through. And I was like, when he told me that, I was like, that was that time. Because you know, you're reevaluating in life, and people are like family members, like a lot of pressures of talking about that stuff. We're like, we're not even thinking about that stuff. But then like, inceptions into your head, you know.
Do you think that since you said that was a while ago, has that deterred you from wanting to date other people, or are you looking at it just not like happening right now?
I do remember earlier on when I finally got over it. Well, when I was like making progress, right, of like getting independent again. I do remember being definitely a little like afraid of like being that vulnerable with someone and giving those feelings to someone puts you kind of in a weak position, because they have your heart in their hands and they could do with it what you will, right? So I remember being a little like scared of going back, because I found this newfound strength. I was like, cool, I'm good again.
Yeah.
Don't want to give someone the power to crush me again, you know? Like I just got it back. You know? But that was a while ago. That was before I moved to LA. So I'm not like put off to relationships per se.
You just haven't found the right one in LA yet?
Right. I feel like I found like it's not necessarily the amount of dates that prove how much of a connection there is. There's some people that only need one or two dates to form a connection that like is bigger than someone you've been on more than that with, which is so interesting, right?
Yeah.
So I guess this is like waiting for that connection. At the same time, it has to line up with what the girl's feeling too, right? Because even if you feel that connection and like timing or if they
Timing's
feel
a
like,
big thing,
so it's all matching up the right pieces. You know?
Yeah.
How about you, Jason? Have you
My turn.
experienced a breakup?
Also, what goes on your mind when you're going through a breakup?
Yeah, so I think going back to what you guys were saying earlier, I think it has a lot to do with who initiated, what the reasoning of the breakup is for. And one of my first breakups was back in college. It wasn't what I wanted per se, but I think we both knew that like things weren't quite going the way we wanted it to, and I could sense it more from her, but she wasn't really communicating it to me. We were in like pretty different phases like in our life. I think I was like a couple years out of college, and she was senior year in high school, but she was doing like running start, so she was going to college too. I just think we were in different phases in our life, and she was about to go to uni and join a sorority. I was in college, but I was planning to move to California. Yeah, definitely like a lot of tears. I was one who initiated the breakup because I knew she needed and wanted something to happen, but I just don't think she could build up enough courage, I think, to tell me. Mm-hmm. And so I just texted her, I was like, is there something wrong? And if there is, just come over and we'll talk about it. I think that was one of my very first experiences, just really like going out of my comfort zone to like take on the challenge of trying to communicate as best as I could. She came over, and then that's when I just sort of asked over and over again, like, you're going to tell me what's going on? And, you haven't been texting me and this and that. I just said, like, do we need to take a break? Do we need to break up and spend some time apart? And then we both were tearing up and stuff. And there was some sense of like relief, right? Because there was just this unanswered question in the back of my head. And I'm sure she was having a hard time too, because she just was having a hard time spitting it out to me. The best thing that happened after the breakup was that I had already had a Thailand trip planned, and I was going to be gone for like 5 weeks, and it was very convenient that I was going to go travel with my brother. Long story short too, my brother was dating someone, and he broke up with that person the same week. Wow. So we both went through the breakup together. So it helped a lot. It helped a lot. And on top of that, we went to Thailand like the week after, and it was just, I had an amazing time at Thailand. I definitely had a easier time coping. It definitely sort of dragged along for a bit afterwards, like once I came back and stuff. But I think I was prioritizing my independence more at that point. That Thailand trip, though, if I didn't have a Thailand trip, I'd probably be telling you a different story. Maybe I wouldn't even share it with you guys, But the Thailand trip helped a lot. I think doing what you got to do to cope.
I love when guys talk about their feelings. Yeah. Yes, bring it out. Was that your only girlfriend that you've had? Like official
after
girlfriend?
that, I went through a long single phase, like dating phase, casual relationships. And then just the past year, I was never official with anyone, but there were like a few people that I dated. What's considered long-term? Like
the DTR. You defined it. Like girlfriend, boyfriend.
Yeah, we definitely weren't boyfriend, girlfriend. We never labeled anything. I think that's one thing I've always been so cautious of, is to like label it, and then all of a sudden you're like
locked in.
Yeah, you're locked in. And I think at that point I was just so independently driven at that point that I was scared that I'd lose my like freedom, I guess.
But you were only seeing them, right? So it was almost like pre-dating. Like you guys were dating, you just didn't have the title. Because you weren't seeing other people, she wasn't seeing other people.
Yeah, I mean, there were a few where I was like
openly dating,
but then there were like a couple that I slightly locked in a little bit on, and then like just kind of see where it would go, kind of like put my attention and focus more towards one person, see where it would go. But I was also very careful. I was just scared. I was just scared to lose my freedom.
I think we talk about this a lot, actually, like amongst me, Mel, Janet, about how our guy friends don't appear to ever want to settle down. So maybe that's one question to ask you guys. Like, is there a timeline in your mind of when you want to get married, to have kids? Because for women, we have a biological clock. We want to get it started. But is there something in your mind, or like a year or an age in your mind where you're like, by this time, I want to be settled down?
I have this conversation a lot with some of my friends I hang out with. My upbringing and my family dynamic, I was never really around like a happy married couple. I was never really around, even though I had a stepdad. Long story short, my mom's a Buddhist nun now, so that kind of puts things into perspective. But my biological parents were divorced when I was like 3 or 4. So then my mom married. My mom went through like 4 marriages.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I have a couple of half siblings. But yeah, I never really grew up envisioning a future where I was like a father with like 3 kids, with a wife and living happily ever after. I never really ever thought about that. I don't know. I was just maybe too busy in the present moment having fun and just like goofing around. So yeah, that's my honest truth. Like I never ever thought that I would like be a parent or be married.
So would you say you don't kind of have a timeline then?
You're still figuring it out.
I'm still figuring it out. Yeah. I'm still figuring it out.
So it's funny. I love babies.
I thought you meant periods.
I love
Periods
periods.
and
No, I love babies so much, and my mom loves babies so much, and her dad loved babies so much. Like, if this is a baby round, it's like, give it to me. You know.
Yeah.
I was also super influenced. Like, I watched Gilmore Girls with my mom, and I was like, that was so cool. Like, having like a kid, like obviously teenage pregnancy, not good, but like, oh, like this is so cool. Like, having a young kid. So emotionally, I'm like, I want to spend time with my cool kids. But logistically, yeah, I'm an actor and career first, and so it's like those things for sure are not aligned. And also, raising kids is, logistically, money, all that stuff. So the logistics are not there, and I totally get that. So like, I'm not like looking for like kids like now. I don't have like a timeline per se. It's all finding the right person.
But you do want a family eventually.
Oh yes, for sure, yeah. But yeah, I don't have like an age per se.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Good,
that's true.
honest answers.
Yeah.
I think the common thing I'm hearing from a lot of my guy friends and you guys is just like, they're not on a timeline. It's more like, I feel like I'm putting myself and my career first. And if someone happens to pop in at a right time, it's like timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Exactly.
it's a huge thing.
I'm not opposed to it. I just never really
Thought about it.
thought about
Yeah.
it.
Well, now we helped you to start thinking about it.
And all of a sudden, I'm seeing mini Jasons like running around. Like, oh, that'd be kind of cute.
All right, so this is a very interesting question. Are guys intimidated by women who make more money or are more successful? Like, would you be with someone who makes more money than you?
So this is interesting because I think actually the answers are probably reversed with guys and girls. So like, I don't think it's intimidating. Like, it's not a deal breaker. Like, if a woman is accomplished and has all these accolades. However, I feel like the reverse is like, I feel like if the woman has more accolades, she'd be less likely to date someone who doesn't have as much, unfortunately.
Like gut reaction, yeah, I think that there's something built in there against about, I mean, it's probably also like traditional training, the patriarchy, which is not great, but generally it's like, I think a woman wants a man to be a little bit more able to provide, or I don't know, or like more that you want to also like learn from him. But I don't know. But nowadays it's like, it's also like in what fields, right? Like you guys can be accomplished in different things. I don't know. What do you ladies think?
I think it depends on like stage in life. Because if I was still in my 20s, I don't think I would care as much. But now that I'm in my 30s, I think I care a little bit more.
When you're thinking about a permanent partner, it's
Yeah,
different
because
then.
like even
Yeah.
with my fiance now, we're thinking about like, oh my gosh, finances. Like we need to start breaking it down and understanding like if we want to buy a house, if we want to start having kids, like those are all logistical things that require money to live a certain lifestyle. So that's why it's like, I think after 30, it's kind of shifted for me a little bit. How about you, Mel?
I think for me, yeah, I prefer, kind of like Janet, like I prefer if my partner is accomplished or like on the same level of learning and career wise as me, but in his own
field,
its
right?
own
Yeah.
field. I think it's because like I dated younger before and I don't want to I don't like to play teacher. So I'd rather learn at this point. I want to learn from my partner. I equate it to like where they are career wise. Like I think professionally I like to learn a lot. Yeah, I don't know if I would date someone who's like not pursue what he wants, I guess.
Like
yeah.
the teacher part's like fun in bed, but like not in real life.
Even that. I don't want to teach you in bed. You need to know what you're doing. But financially too, like I had this talk with my girlfriends back at home. My best friend, she's very like traditional. She's like, I want the man to make more than me. I was like, oh, but I'm also someone that I like the equal. Yeah, I don't mind if he makes more than me, but I don't mind if he makes the same as me because I don't make a shit ton of money, but I'm okay with that. But financially,
What if he's working on something that has a lot of potential in 2 years, but also could have no potential at all?
I think if he had a solid foundation, like, oh, I saved up money to work on this, I'm like, okay. But if you have no money and you're working towards this, I'd be kind of like, okay, questioning your strategy. So it's like,
But it's not a deal breaker.
not a deal breaker if he makes less than me.
I brought that up because I think I read an article or a podcast or something. Because obviously now more than ever, right, women are more independent and have more opportunities to rise up the ranks and become doctors, lawyers. But now there's a growing like concern of like, where are all the guys? But because though that amount of accomplishment is higher, but they still don't want to date less accomplished than them.
Yeah.
So in a weird way, the hard work, sticking with that mentality, dwindles down the potential amount of guys, dwindles down the group of guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Actually, along the same lines, like, do you guys feel any pressure from old school societal standards, specifically for men, to be like the breadwinner or to take care of your girlfriend? And do you have those like feelings that you feel like you need to take on, I guess?
It's tough to say if it's nature or nurture, right? I always want to like take care of my girlfriend or my girl, right? was that like taught, or is that like
Maybe it's like the
you know?
way that you take care of her. Because like the more traditional ways are like financially providing or that kind of thing. But then there's also the way of like, oh, I would plan the dates, or I would be extra attentive to like, so
Yeah.
care in different ways. Do you
sure.
feel pressure on the more traditional end, I guess, of like providing for her financially, or I don't know.
Because I will say that, like, for me, I feel like the pressures that, or the values that I've grown up with is more like, make sure you can provide for your family. But I've never thought about it in the sense of like my significant other. But do you feel that pressure to provide for your significant other or person you're dating?
I do, to some extent. I feel like I've never really been attached to money, nor have I ever attached the value of money to my goals, which is kind of problematic if you're trying to like make like a decent living as a creator. I feel like you kind of need to have that drive a little bit. Never really tie the two together. I'm like, oh, if I work this hard, I'll make, you know, this much money. It was more of just like, I just want to like create and not have to worry about money ever. For me, it's if we can split a bill on dinner, like I'm chill. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It's really all about the connection. And outside of like work and the professional life, if you guys just vibe, you vibe. You know, it's all about energy.
Yeah, I think overall, like everything in my career has been to just, you know, grow and be more successful. And luckily that's been like, I guess, panning out. Hopefully that falls in line, right? Because by the time you have kids or a wife to take care of, you'll have the capital to do it, you know?
An investment.
So, yeah, I guess, but I don't think I've specifically gotten an overbearing like parent being like, FYI, this is all because you have to take care of your wife. You know what I mean? It hasn't been like any of that.
So would you,
But for sure I want to be
Yeah.
able to.
but so back to the first question, like, so would you say you're not intimidated by women who make more money than you?
Right. I'm not. Actually, my type is kind of like an independent woman, like who's, I'm a huge nerd, so forgive me. But like if you turn around and she was like, oh, by the way, I'm actually, takes off the mask, Wonder Woman, or like she actually, and you'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You know, like you're killing it, you know, versus like the stereotypical thing where the
Damsel in distress.
Yeah.
right, where
Yeah.
like the guy wants the woman to just be everything submissive.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Equal playing field
Yes.
and connection. Asian Boss Girl is brought to you by Skillshare. Make 2020 a year where you explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity with classes from Skillshare. Learn about illustration, design, photography, video, freelancing, podcasting, and more.
As we enter our second year of the podcast, we already know it's going to be a busy one. However, one thing we individually do to track our personal growth and reflect is journaling. But we're not going to lie, sometimes it's hard for us to actually think about what to write. Luckily, with Skillshare, they offer amazing classes to get your brain juices flowing, from writing for self-discovery to creative journaling.
Explore your creativity at Skillshare.com/ABG and get 2 free months of premium membership. That's right, Skillshare is offering Asian Boss Girl listeners 2 free months of unlimited access to thousands of classes. To sign up, go to Skillshare.com/ABG. Again, go to Skillshare.com/ABG to get your 2 free months of premium membership. That's Skillshare.com/ABG.
All right, guys. I think me and Mike, we've been talking a lot. So let's nail you guys with some.
Nail
us.
I didn't mean it like that,
Is that
guys.
implying something?
Nice segue.
Yeah, I guess we're switching the topic to something a little more juicy. Actually, probably the most juicy it could possibly get.
Yeah, we're gonna smash right into this topic.
Smash it.
Wow. Okay, drill it in, guys. What is it?
All right, let's roll it in. I think
Into the wall, right?
Okay.
All back.
Just say it.
We have peanut butter
I
right
got the
here.
peanut butter. Yeah.
Wow. There is peanut butter on the table.
so. How many male listeners do you guys have?
It's about
30%?
Yeah,
30%.
about
30?
yeah.
Okay.
30%.
Males, these questions are for you guys.
Yeah.
So obviously, I think there's a lot of conversation, actually not a lot of conversation, around penis size.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, does size matter to you guys?
Personally, for me, I don't need a dick to be hella huge. Size kind of matters, but doesn't 100% matter.
Explain yourself.
I do. I have, like, my experiences with sex, I feel like it, like, I think Janet mentioned this in an old episode. It is a motion of the ocean versus, like, size.
It's more how you use what you have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree. Although it depends, like, I think girth matters.
You love girth.
Yeah, girl. I mean,
Helen prioritizes girth over length.
but
I
not
feel
like
right?
what's it called? A chode. Not like a chode. Because if it's like a stump, then I don't know. That's kind of weird. But it's
Not a
also
lot of motion to that, Ocean.
If it's like a pencil is like the super thin, then I'm gonna feel like it's a pencil.
Yeah.
You know.
This is like a what would you rather question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. It has to kind of be perfect.
Well,
Wow.
Nodded.
girth gang.
Girth gang, but also
thing.
some length gang.
Yeah.
I am pretty turned off when it's too big.
Yeah.
Because that actually is then not comfortable and it can be painful for the woman
Yeah.
and not enjoyable.
Janet's been lucky.
That's funny. Actually,
Apparently not lucky though. You 30% guys, so keep that in mind.
I actually just came across this book. Somebody posted on Instagram. I was scrolling through my feed, and there was this book called like "How Do You Live with a Huge Penis?" Because it's a real problem.
Yeah.
It's a real problem.
Elephantis, right? Isn't that the name?
Oh,
of
it is an actual like
Is it?
Yeah.
physiological like quote unquote disorder or like a thing.
At the same time, there's also growers, not showers.
Oh, I know.
Growers, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you guys?
What are you guys? Or should we say at the same time?
Oh,
1, 2, 3.
growers.
Okay.
I feel like the vast majority of
Guys
males
in general
are growers.
Growers.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Have you ever masturbated thinking about one of your opposite sex friends?
Ooh, that came from our listener.
A friend that you guys are purely platonic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like Mike has a lot of girl friends.
No, because like, what is a friend versus? Because I'm sure like, there's been like romantic things with some people that are not like girlfriend boyfriend, but it's like
No, just like platonically friends.
I'm gonna say yes.
I would ask who.
Yeah.
I don't even know who. If you're strictly platonic with someone,
Yeah.
does that mean that you can't have thoughts either?
I don't. You tell me.
Okay, here's how I saw the question. Like, maybe there's someone who's, one of your friends, just a friend, but you probably found them like attractive or physically attractive, whatever. So when you're like masturbating, you're like, hey, maybe I'll think of her.
Yeah.
But we're friends.
That's like
Yeah.
That's the question.
I couldn't give you guys any names, but I'm just gonna say yes because I don't see. How
There's
that
nothing
can be a
wrong with it.
possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it.
oh yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just going through my database. Because I think I'm pretty proactive. Like if I felt like attracted,
you would
to
act on it.
right. So then are they no longer friends? You know what I mean?
Maybe they're taken and you can't take that step further.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're the smirk. He's smirky.
The
Mike.
smirk
just
smile
bit his lip.
comes out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You just bite your lip, Mike.
Yeah, you're like salivating a little bit.
Dang,
over
you're
there.
like giddy over here.
Takes a sip of his tea.
How are you guys? How are you
cheers.
guys?
I actually don't really think of a person.
I don't
You
think I
do?
have. I don't think I have because I think I'm also proactive. If I like them, then I probably would have acted on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I have. Sorry, guy friends.
I want to say yes. Well, it's because like we have a lot of guy friends that maybe I don't want to have a relationship with them, but like I find them physically attractive. So maybe something pops in my head. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it
why
just
not?
comes.
Comes.
It just comes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just comes.
Yeah.
Pops up.
I think guys are more visual though, and girls are more like imaginative.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because that's a stereotype, right? Like that's why
Yeah.
like girls have romance novels versus guys have
Porn.
porn.
Yeah.
Hub. Yeah.
How much do you guys identify with that? Like, can you get turned on from just like visual stimulation, or do you need like something more? Because I think a lot of people, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, we don't know, like send like dick pics and stuff, right? Which is purely visual. What do you guys think about that?
I definitely don't like dick pics. That will never work on me.
I don't know if anyone does.
That was actually one of my questions.
Really?
How do you guys feel about dick pics?
that-
And do you guys think penises are ugly?
Yes. Sorry.
I mean,
Maybe they grow on you.
Hey!
But if you were to
yeah.
But if you were to send me a picture of your like an erected dick, it doesn't turn me on.
Yeah.
For me, I like that whole experience of being with the man. That's
Yes.
what turns me on. But like just a picture of a dick, it's like I'm not like, ooh, let me
I would
do
agree.
that. Yeah.
I actually feel like if you send a photo of a bulge in context to you as a like posed in a certain way, that's more because it's like it insinuates,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Versus if you just send me
what?
a photo of your like either erect dick or whatever, like that's just like ew. I'm not here for that.
You heard it here first, folks. Bulge pics.
Like
Started
if
AVG episode 58.
you're, if you're in
Janet Wang.
if you're in a nice pair of briefs and there's a little bulge, and then you're like,
Yeah,
like that would be much more, because at
I
least
agree.
from to the imagination, to your point, Mike,
Yeah.
about women, then you kind of imagine like what the experience would be. Wait, actually, so for you guys, if a woman sends you a photo, I mean, what do like just like of cleavage, does that turn you on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess to your point about men being visual, right?
No,
They
for
just
sure,
need to
men are
see the
visual.
thing, and then
Yeah.
it turns them on.
At the same time, for sure, like to a lesser extent, because if it's someone like so you're shipping another, obviously that'll turn you on more than just a random person. So like that's for sure where the story aspect,
Right.
which is probably why guys send so many dick pics, because they're like, oh yeah, this will turn them
That's
on
true.
because that would have turned me on.
Yes. I
That's
feel
hella funny. Okay, what do you guys think about during sex? Like speaking of fantasy and stuff.
Think about during sex.
Yeah.
During the act of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And are you like someone who closes your eyes? Or are you more like, are you looking at the person
Person.
in their eyes? Yeah, like what are you thinking about? Or are you like
Walk us
really in the
through.
moment?
Yeah. Wait, do you guys close your eyes? I don't think.
Well, we think it sometimes depends on what we're doing. Like,
really.
I think it just depends.
Maybe this speaks to the visualness, but I'm looking. My eyes are on.
I think the closest thing to having our eyes closed is with the lights off or dimmed. Like I don't think I've ever closed my eyes before, or blind. Whatchamacallit?
Blindfold.
Oh, blindfolding. See, okay, that makes sense. The blindfolding thing, that's a whole other thing. That's
Yeah.
That's a different thing.
I
Yeah.
make
It's
sense.
different.
I understand that.
I think
Yeah.
for me, when I say like eyes closed, like there's moments that say like it's not sex. I mean, it's like when a guy like maybe he's going down on me. Like I don't want to just stare at him the whole time.
Oh,
And
sure.
there's moments of like, let me enjoy this and like close my eyes for like a second or a few, and then like get back into it.
Wait, does the visual of that
That-
of a guy going down, does that not turn you on?
It does turn me on, but like it's like a mix of like I want to see it to turn me on, but at the same time I also want to like savor the moment.
Yeah, I will say that sometimes when like you're staring each other intensely,
It's
like
like-
in the eye the whole time, it does get a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like for me, it's like yes, eyes are open, but I see what you mean by like you kind of close your eyes and you're just like
Enjoying.
you're
Yeah.
feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when you close your eyes. You're not sleeping.
Yeah.
You're not wanting
yeah.
to look at them. It's more just like in the moment.
Yeah. But no, I was thinking like what you guys think about, because like, I feel like sometimes girls are like, I'm gonna be honest, like I get a little insecure when I'm having sex. I'm just like, oh my god, do I look okay? Is he enjoying this? Is this the right move?
yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Like, do you guys think more about yourselves and your performance, or are you more like present in the moment and like looking at them and just like feeling it?
I think me personally, I was very proactive when I first going through puberty and learning about sex and everything. Especially because unfortunately you hear all the bad Asian stereotypes, right? So when you're like a kid, you're like, wait, what? Is this me? Is this gonna happen to me in the future? I did contribute to me like always being like, okay, I'm steading up. So by the time it comes, I'll be ready. Like I know how to do everything. So it's funny because to this day, that's always on my mind. Like
Yeah.
you said, Mel, like I'm always thinking about making sure like how are they feeling?
Yeah.
Like are
Yeah.
they
You want to
getting?
make sure you're performing.
You're not a
Performance.
selfish lover.
Yeah.
You're not a selfish lover.
I almost can't help but think that at this point, like how to make sure I'm doing a good job. you
Yeah.
know?
I think going back to porn, I think porn has a lot to do with it. You just see like people performing at their best, I guess, if you will, in porn. Granted, like a lot of it's scripted and they're on like penis pills and stuff. But yeah, I think for me, like earlier on, it was very visual for me, and also very like performance based, where I would just worry about whether I'm doing a good job, or worrying about whether I would like last, duration, like all those things. I think that's what led me to quitting porn. So I've been like porn free for a while.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think I just became very desensitized to sex. Overall, I just wanted sex to be more meaningful. Fellas, if you're listening, there's this thing called 30-day NoFap challenge. I highly recommend you try it. It's a really cool community. I've done it myself like 2 or 3 times, and oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Do you feel like your senses are now more heightened because you're not watching porn so much?
Yeah, I think on a very extreme level, like I think it's very easy for men to start like objectifying women when you just watch porn, every other day or maybe even every night, before bed. I just think you start to value women more differently, and you start having more meaningful sex. You become more sensitive in different areas. So you have more energy. You're not having a quick fix, like
Wow.
every night, like in the shower, you're not clogging drains.
the pee thing, the pee trap.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of benefits. 30-day no fap challenge, guys. Look it up. Even ladies, because I'm sure a lot of you guys are dating, and You know, even in dating, you know, men still do it. So.
So now when you have sex with women, it's more like, look at her eyes.
I mean, there's still a little bit of, you know, visual like stimulation there, but I do focus more on just the sensation itself and the connection physically and mentally, rather than just like relying on the oh damn, this is sexy, like, you know, just like you're just looking at it like POV style, you know, all that. You know,
That's a good point. Yeah. Like you're
it's-
actually you are participating in it, and not versus like if you're watching a lot of porn, then you're imagining you are in a porn while
Yes.
you're doing it, and you're like, how do I look?
Yeah.
How does this look? Right?
You're being one with your penis rather than two different things going on. And you're just like, you're like watching your own show almost.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
it's you're like detached from yourself almost. It can like get to that level.
Be one with your penis.
Yeah.
Do you want with your penis?
I think about this sometimes is like a lot of like casual dating nowadays. Like obviously, you know, you guys are kind of casually having sex too. For me, it's really hard not to grow emotionally attached with someone I'm having sex with. Either that happens or like I just can't have sex with someone I'm not emotionally connected with. But I feel like a lot of my guy friends can detach their emotions from sex. Why and how are guys able to detach emotions from sex? Are you guys able to do that?
I don't know if it's detaching emotions. Like I don't think I'm ever like having sex and being like, I am trying to detach this from any type of making this feel something more than it is. I think I'm always open to that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm personally like using it as like, okay, this is just like this physical act that's not going to mean anything.
But have you ever been able to do that where you will have sex with someone and then not feel any type of emotional connection afterwards?
For sure. I mean, I think as you guys know, like having sex with someone doesn't mean you're going to fall in love with them, you know?
But sometimes they say for women there is like physiologically when that happens that you develop a greater sensitivity to feeling emotions for them.
I mean, yeah, for sure. It opens up a new avenue of communication with the person, which is why I think it's so important to, you know, see if you guys are compatible that way, right? But yeah, you just like a conversation, you can figure out during that if you guys are compatible or not.
So you could have really bad sex and then not feel anything for them.
Yeah, I think in my personal experience, I have been able to do that. And I think it just comes to show how different males and females are. I was listening to this podcast or this video once on genders and how different we are like biologically. And he was talking about like masculinity and like femininity and how females are different in the sense that for females to have sex, he said like they're like surrendering themselves. And it's so different for a male because a male doesn't necessarily have to surrender himself and fully just accept everything that's about to happen to him. He's more like on the
Proactive side.
yeah, the proactive
control
side.
a little bit more.
Yeah, and there was like a visual exercise that he asked everyone to do. He said like, all right, if you're a male, this is what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to close your eyes, imagine you're having sex, and then imagine you're being fucked. like imagine you're the one surrendering yourself. And it was like, whoa, this is like weird. Yeah, this is
Usually
really
you
trippy.
take on the like I'm in control and I'm going to control this.
Yeah, it just comes to show like how different it is sex
Yeah.
for males and females.
Interesting. So even like the physiology, because of the way that you're accepting that then ties to the emotions versus being the person. I mean, just like biologically, you have penis versus vagina, right?
Yeah.
Like one is taking something in and the other is like
Receiving
That's
it.
true.
Yeah.
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 It's like, no, you get on top.
Yeah, like not to say that a girl can like be a, you know, like whatchamacallit, just
Dominating?
yeah, dominating, but like majority of the times males are like
Your
the
initial
dominant
reaction.
one and they're the
Yeah.
one penetrating, and it's just it's just crazy to think about. You know, on that note, I can see how females could maybe develop more emotions because they have so much more to like
Surrender?
surrender.
Yeah.
Surrender.
Have you ladies had experiences where like a one night stand or anything where you don't feel anything afterwards? There's no emotional connection. Or is it more like you've never really had sex until you felt emotionally connected with someone?
I think there's always going to be like an underlying attraction or like a little bit of connection for me. So I never really had sex with anyone that I didn't feel that for. Or I got emotionally attached.
To everyone that you've had?
I
Yeah,
am.
that's true. I think there was only one person for me that, yeah.
How was that experience though?
I kind of knew it wasn't going to turn into anything, but it's more just like, okay, I didn't live out that like college experience of just experimenting and trying different things out because I always was in a relationship. So the only time I was not in a relationship and I was just like, fuck it, let's just try this thing out, right?
Yeah.
Just have fun. I ended up not liking it that much. I
Yeah.
mean, it was fun in the moment, but I knew it wouldn't last
Yeah.
forever. So I was like, I'm wasting my time kind of.
Did you thought more? Because I think sex is really fun. It's a fun activity to do.
Yeah, it was
Kinda
more
that.
just like fun, animalistic
Yeah.
type stuff.
How about you,
Girls
Jen?
can do that too.
I would say there's two situations where I didn't feel an emotional repercussion from sex. One is if it was a one night stand and it was like not in the same city. So I'm like never going to have to see them again, right? So there's not that ability to build that rapport. And then second would be like there have been people where I was like trying to see if there's something and then I just didn't really feel it. Like I was trying to see if I would feel something and then we had sex and then I was like, I'm not really into you. In some ways it can be possible to.
For women to feel that way too.
This episode is sponsored by Audible. As working women who are constantly on the go, we are big fans of consuming content in audio formats. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks. Every month, members get 1 credit to pick any title, plus 2 Audible originals from a monthly selection, and access to daily news digests like the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and the Washington Post, as well as guided meditation programs.
I'm proud to say I'm continuing my goal of consuming more content created by Asian Americans into the new year. What's next on my list? Ali Wong's Dear Girls audiobook. I got so many recommendations from friends on this and I can't wait to listen to it. Dear Girls is a comedic, heartfelt letter to Ali's daughters about all her lessons in life, including trapping her husband. What makes this audiobook so special is that Ali Wong narrates the book herself.
Explore all the ways listening on Audible can help improve mind, body, and soul with entertainment, information, and inspiration. Visit audible.com/ABG or text ABG to 500-500. That's audible.com/ABG or text ABG to 500-500.
I have like a more on like the before sex, the dating question, like flirtation.
Oh.
In this age of social media.
Yep.
Right. What does it mean when a girl like flirts with you in person and stuff, but then you ask them out and then they ghost you, like so they don't respond to the ask out, but then on social media they still like your stuff and still follow you and still watch your stories and like comment on your things. So this is like, wait, do you not like me? Do you like me? What does that mean? What do girls do that?
I was going to say the same thing for a guy.
Yeah.
If I ever found out a girl liked me who I didn't like back, I wouldn't socially engage with them because I don't want to leave them on.
Yeah.
But I've encountered a lot of girls who do what I just said.
Here's what I think is happening. She doesn't want to date you, but she wants attention. So she's trying to, right?
Yeah.
Because she knows that you like her. She doesn't want to date you, but if she likes your stuff, then you're going to be a little bit like, she's playing with you a little bit.
Yeah.
That would be my initial.
Or you might also be just emotionally detached from Instagram because you're just scrolling and it's like you're scrolling. They're like, oh, nice picture, Mike. Double tap. And
That's
she's
another-
not linking the fact that, maybe she doesn't want to date you, but then you're just kind of there right now to double tap on and she wants to remain friends, maybe. Yeah. Ooh, does that make you sad? I see like sadness in your eyes right now.
It's like annoying, I think.
Yeah.
No,
it is.
I mean, I've been on that side too.
It's like literally because it'd be great if it was like, oh, not interested. But it's just like no response.
Like a clear-cut answer.
You're not going to respond to a text message yet still.
Yeah.
That
is
stuff
annoying.
on social media,
How long has that lasted for?
I mean, I feel like there's some that's like a lot, like a while. And then you see them again in person, and then they're all flirty with you. And then you're like, okay, so maybe it's on again. So hey, you want to grab drinks? Nothing. But then next day, liking my stuff again.
It's attention.
I think what Janet said about attention is that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, obviously you're an actor. Like an actor is like maybe like very appealing, I guess, title that you carry. And so I feel like if I was a girl doing that, I'd be like, I want the world to know that I'm associated with Mike. So it's like more like to bring up her reputation.
Ooh,
That's
using you.
That's something I would see it as too.
The
like I want
clout chasers.
pretty like I'd be like, I want the world to know because it's a public comment. If anything, if I was interested in you, I would just DM you. But no,
It's an algorithm hack. If they comment on your photos,
Their account's like going to be viewed by his viewers or something.
maybe.
that's how I see it.
Ooh,
That's annoying.
Mike, sorry. I feel like we just broke some like major news to you.
But that's also
No,
just
I
like
mean,
a general. Your case might be different.
Yeah.
Right. The specifics of.
No, I'm sorry, but
No, I mean, no, that confirms. I mean, because that's how I was going about it anyway.
Yeah.
Have you experienced that, Jason?
I have. I don't know. It never really bothered me. I mean, to what extent is it like? Are they reacting to your stories? Are they watching your stories all the way through? They're like still just very there, but then they're not there when you're trying to
Yeah, like a full on, like just ignoring the text, but then still engaging other ways.
That's annoying. Sorry, I'm just like, I'm annoyed for you.
It definitely happens to me. Yeah, it definitely happens to me. But I tend to try to not date the people that I'm associated with on social media. I try to like find people outside of my circle or just like anybody that's even on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think they're not necessarily like Instagrammers or anything.
Yeah.
They, just
a tactic they use.
have.
Yeah.
Any more questions on love?
So let's talk about butt sex.
Yeah, you would.
Jason,
Just go there very casually.
you brought the yin and yang on. This is great. All right.
And I'm out here for the fellas. You know what I'm saying? these are literally all the questions you Google. You know, growing up as a kid.
What is your question about butt sex?
Butt
Jason?
sex. Just make it easy. Like, what do you guys feel about butt sex? And what are your experiences?
None, and I prefer not to do anal. I don't know. For me, it's like, did we say this previous episode? Like, you want doo-doo on the dick, right?
Yeah, that's a common.
It sounds like a
Yeah.
jingle.
Right? Doo-doo on the dick. But I do have some I do have some girlfriends that enjoy anal. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
Isn't there like some like stimulation point inside?
Oh, for sure.
That is,
For
yeah.
sure.
Oh, I thought there was a stimulation point inside for men.
That too.
Yeah, I think for
men.
both.
Yeah, that's
right?
for both.
Yeah.
For both?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I always thought it was just for men.
Have you guys tried anal?
Gee, no response?
I don't enjoy. I don't actually. I think I've probably in like a relationship have like potentially experimented, but it's never like fully been an act, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, it's honestly, it's something that I would allow. So if I was in a committed relationship and it's something that my partner wanted to try, I would be open to it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to randomly do it with anyone, right?
Yeah, of course.
Same.
In one of my previous relationships, yeah, I definitely experimented before as well. It was very light experimentation. But through that experimentation, I can understand how it could be enjoyable. It's not an uncommon thing, especially if you're a homosexual person. Like that's like their sex. So have you guys pooped before? It feels kind of like reverse pooping.
Wait, time out. So
Wait, so you were
you've tried it before?
What? Tried what?
You've received?
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah,
No, you didn't receive it. You
I received it.
wait, what?
Oh, you
Yeah.
had the girl.
Yeah.
Oh, plot twist.
But like I said, it was like light experimentation. It
Yeah.
wasn't like it wasn't like a dildo or anything involved or anything. I can understand how it can be enjoyable or even maybe pleasurable. I wouldn't describe it as pleasurable. But like I said, like reverse pooping. Pooping like feels good,
Reverse
right?
pooping.
But like reverse pooping, I don't know. It's a little weird. You just kind of you have to surrender.
That's what you
I have a good amount of respect for you for experimenting with
Yeah,
that. And
me
being,
too.
And being the, yeah.
And that's where men's G spots, I heard,
Yeah, that's-
is at in your butthole.
Yeah.
Wait, Mike, would you
Yeah.
let a girl
Stick a
experiment?
finger.
Stick a finger up there?
I've never had to cross that bridge.
okay.
I don't think I necessarily like would ask them to.
Okay.
No
Yeah.
curiosity at all.
Not super curious in that. I think there's a lot of other things
That you
that I'm
prefer.
curious about.
You might be missing
Curious.
out.
So what are you curious about? What's one
Oh,
thing?
just a bunch of other things to do.
Oh,
that
gotcha.
yeah.
I'm not particularly like interested in like anal stuff either. It's just I was in a relationship and it was kind of like a deal.
Yeah.
It was like a deal.
You don't have to
yeah.
explain
Yeah,
yourself.
it's
it's
fine.
okay.
All right.
But I think no, it's good. It's good to like
Yeah, experiment.
Yeah.
Along the same lines of anatomy, the main differences anatomically between men and women are because you guys have penises, right? So I have a lot of questions about that. It's like yeah, what is it like to have foreskin?
Well, that's only if you're not circumcised, right?
That's what I asked earlier.
I
So
don't know.
No, that's only if you're not circumcised. That's
So it's like
like
covered.
the hood that is over the head.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But even if you are circumcised, isn't just the front of the penis the foreskin?
Is that called foreskin too?
no, because the foreskin is what's being removed.
Oh, I thought it was just a cut, then that peels back. I didn't know things were being removed.
Is the part
That's
that
circumcised,
covers
yeah.
considered the foreskin, or is like
Yeah,
the skin on the whole?
I'm like 99% sure.
That's what
Yeah.
I thought
And then
too,
the
so-
head is just the head.
So foreskin gets cut off.
Right.
If you're
yeah,
circumcised.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like they open it, so then it.
Like I think
They-
like,
they actually,
I think
like,
you
cut
come
off
out
cut off
like
the-
this.
Yeah.
Like this is the foreskin, and then they cut this off. Now that's the head. Like that, so that doesn't exist anymore.
So Mike's showing us with his jacket.
Except it's not that big. Like just like imagine like a small little toddler, and they're like
Okay,
literally
okay,
playing
that's-
Operation. And it's like a tiny little thingy.
Why would people do that?
It's a religious
It's
thing.
cleaner.
Is it
also.
clean? Yeah.
Oh, like what? Yeah. What
Isn't
the
it
history
religious?
of it
It's a
is?
religious
It's
too,
It's a
right?
Jewish thing, I think. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
Created it.
So I
It's a
guess
hygiene thing too, though.
Yeah, because
But
something get caught in
apparently-
your foreskin, right?
Yeah.
Then you have to clean it. And
Apparently, though, like, because I've talked to other male friends who are not circumcised, apparently it's like a whole other experience, and that's very sensitive. So, like, I actually, I'm with you girls. I don't know what it is, but they were like, yeah,
extra
it's in that-
sensations.
right.
Yeah.
On that note, actually, I don't know how much girls are aware of this, but I think guys are. A lot of like penis related drugs and kits and stuff are shoved down young boys' throats like crazy. Like a lot of like, you want a bigger penis? You want this? Like come to this doctor, come to that doctor. So like, I think that's like I don't know how, like it's like targeted.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I've
never
seen
thought of
those
that.
like commercials a lot, but have you, like you as a young boy seeing that, were you like, oh, I'm definitely going to get that penis enlargement?
Oh, actually, I did. Yeah, there's like a little suction tube one. My dad actually had one. My dad had one.
you try it out.
I didn't try it. It's basically a pump. It just pumps more blood in there, and then there's like a ring. But yeah, basically what it is you pump, you stick it over, then you sort of there's like this little thing you tug, and it just sucks the air out of there, which creates blood to flow into.
So it's like a bruised dick then.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
it's like an inflamed
Dick.
dick, yeah. And then you put like a little ring around it to hold it in. So usually that's like another alternative to like Viagra, I guess. If you don't want to take pills and stuff, you can just.
it's like a natural way to.
It's like Kylie Jenner with her like the Pringles lip thing, right? Like to make your lips
did
bigger.
she do a suction thing
yeah,
where?
just pump it up.
Oh yeah,
put on your dick
yeah,
instead.
basically.
Interesting.
Okay, so I guess to bounce off Helen's question on foreskin, like, how does it feel to have a penis? Because, like, as women, we don't have anything hanging off from our bodies. Do you feel it, like, kind of rub against your leg when you walk and stuff like that? Or
Right, because like biologically, it's the clitoris, right, that turns into the penis.
Yeah.
So I think that's also why they say like sex is on guys' minds more, because it's so external. The chances of it rubbing or touching something is more possible. So because of that, guys tend to be more
Turned
like,
on?
ready
Yeah.
to
Your
go.
psychology is constant.
Yeah, right.
I guess like in like the summertime, right? When it gets like really hot and gets really sweaty, is it like extra sensitive then? Because it's like slapping against your leg and it's like sticking on there, and it's like
Oh, I don't know
you
if
know,
the
there's
weather
more
has,
friction.
I don't know if the weather necessarily has anything to affect it.
I think you need to ask the people who read the book how to live with a huge penis, because maybe that's where, like, if you're literally living life and your penis is getting in the way of just like daily tasks or like I think that's where it gets problematic.
what's the most annoying thing about having a penis?
You know, guys always say like hitting the balls is like the most like everything, right? It's funny because it's like, you know, when people say like, oh, like guys are stronger, right, than women or whatever, it's like guys have like a really easy weak point, you know, right? Biologically, that design is flawed. It's like, well, they'll just get them down. You just have to aim at that spot, right?
That's true.
So in a way, it's kind of like vulnerable,
Yeah.
right?
It's funny because like I don't even know how to answer that because that's all we've known.
Oh, that's true.
So it's just like, I've lived with a penis. I think the only thing, maybe one way I could answer it is a lot of males grow up having a lot of like insecurity issues with, you know, penis and penis size, and that ties back to porn too. Like,
Are you guys comfortable with your body?
Yes.
I'm comfortable now. In high school, middle school, I was definitely, there was a phase where I was insecure about my penis size. I think when you watch porn, they just set extremely unrealistic expectations
And that's why I brought up
standards.
that's why I brought up those ads and stuff, because you're like, it's like, oh, these doctors recommend taking this, and so before you even have become a man, you're like, should I be concerned with this? Like, is this a real thing? And a bunch of this stuff for sure is not safe, you know. So I'm sure like people have bought some medications or whatever before even realizing from growing, like, oh yeah, this is gonna be an issue.
Right. I'm always curious, like in the bathroom, like girls, we all have stalls, and I feel like if we didn't have stalls, that'd be really weird. Like
Yeah.
sometimes in the mall, there's like one stall without a door, and then there's someone peeing in there. I'm like, girl, why don't you pick the one with the stall? Seriously, door. Yes,
funny.
that happens sometimes. I'm just like,
Interesting.
weird. But guys, that is typically what it is. It's like open urinals, and you have to
true.
pull out something to pee, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I know the whole thing is like you're supposed to stare straight ahead and not look at anyone else's, but like, have you looked before? Have you like peeped over?
No, that's why like some bathrooms are designed well, where it's like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like a wall, or
Okay.
like there's like a way to like the separation is like clearly thought about. The field of vision is blocked.
Sure.
But then there's some other bathrooms that's like there's no way, like you're always in the field of vision.
yeah.
I'm like, god dang it.
Yeah, there's some bathrooms where it's just a big like metal.
Oh, that thing, yeah.
yeah, and you're just sharing one big thing. So it's
Yeah, because I don't want to look at your junk.
You can definitely see
Yeah, so-
peripherally for sure.
Wow.
But, there's ways to, like, be discreet about it.
Yeah.
But there's also there's guys who flaunt big time. They'll just, like, pull it out. Or,
Really?
like, start, like, yanking it and, like, some
What?
guys.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, I haven't experienced
Oh,
that.
yeah, big time. Like, there's, like, big time. Yeah, no, there's, like, short story, but I used to work at a mall. I remember this one time I was going to the bathroom, and there was this guy, this very suspicious dude who would pee, and then he would just look, right? I was like, okay, this guy's weird. He's just, like, looking at people's penises. I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe he was curious, whatever. And then I left, like, we were washing our hands. We kind of ended at the same time. He didn't look at mine. I was washing my hands, looking in the mirror, and I saw he was like, his head was turned like this, just
Looking
clearly
over his
looking
shoulder.
at another person's penis. Yeah. And then I walked out. He walked out. He was sort of like in front of me, and I noticed he turned back around, and then he started walking back to the bathroom, and that's when I was like, what the hell? And so I like walked back to the bathroom. I was like, is this guy? Because I was really curious because he kind of had this very like shady look about him, and I saw him at the urinal again. And that's when I just stood there. I was like, okay, I'm still on my break, so I have another 10 minutes. I just sat at one of the tables near this like cookie shop, and I saw him walking in and out over and over again. So clearly he had some sort of like obsession with looking at guys' dicks.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's when I told security, I was like, hey, dude, there's this guy walking in and out of the bathroom looking at people's dicks, and you should probably do something about it. And they ended up escorting him out.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it things like that happen. So be careful, guys. Be careful out there.
All you ABBs out there, keep your eyes straight and hide your dicks.
All right, so I had a special request from someone who wanted to stay anonymous.
The Justin. I'm just kidding.
It wasn't Justin. You know why. Anyways, how do you guys react when, say, you're in a situation where a male is having sex or about to have sex with you, and he either can't keep it up, or he can't get up at all? Like, they're like one of those moments. Because I think it happens to a lot of us, especially if we're in high school, college, whatever. It could even happen when you're 30, 40. Erectile dysfunction is real too. And so even if it's porn induced, how have you guys handled that situation if it has happened to you?
I personally actually never encountered that with the partner. Maybe like there's like a drunken night when like my ex-boyfriend was like, I can't perform. I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, for me, it's nothing to be ashamed about though. It's like more like, oh, I understand. Then we can just do another time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. Where it's like you try like different methods, and then if it's just like, yeah, usually it's because of alcohol, and then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, you're drunk. I don't want to have sex with you anymore anyway. And then they just like roll over, go to sleep. I'm like, fucker. No, but like it's usually a lot of like compassion of just like, it's fine if you can, because like I feel like for girls also, like I think girls have more difficulty orgasming, so it's
Yeah.
kind of like asking them the same thing of like,
Yeah.
why can't you orgasm? And if
Right.
someone would ask me that would get into my head, and I'd be like,
Yep.
I don't want to do this anymore. That's a lot of pressure.
For sure.
Yeah, I feel like usually the woman is usually more compassionate because of that, but sometimes the guys will feel embarrassed about it, right? And to the point, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. And I think especially nowadays, like because of alcohol, also because of stress, people, when you're not sleeping well and you're not like, if you're stressed out, like that also affects your physiology. Yeah, sometimes when that happens, and alternatively, there are other ways that he can please you. So usually that's
Ooh, yes, girl.
But I think for me, sometimes for me, it's just like, well, I can't, what else can I please you? Like for the guy, you know what I mean? That's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'd take it like personally.
I think when you're horny, you just want to get it in.
Yeah, no,
I
exactly.
feel you. but it's not to the point where like we're gonna shame you for it. It's more like, okay,
Right.
Yeah.
So guys, don't be ashamed by it.
Yeah.
I think if they were to be like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, I'd be like, dude, shut the fuck up. It's completely fine.
But also, if you want
That's
to
a
please
turn
her, there's other ways to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Other ways, guys.
Michael, what was your last question for us?
So I know the social norm, right, is for the guy to ask out the girl if like there's like some attraction going on. And I've talked to some female friends who said that if they saw like a guy they were interested in, but he didn't make a move, they wouldn't make a move. And I was like, oh, what? Oh, no, but you like him a lot, right? He's like, no, but he didn't make a move. So if you were in that scenario, what would be the best way for that guy who you're clearly into, but he's, well, how would you like him to make a move?
Well, I would do your smirking thing that you like so much.
Oh.
I would like kind of verbally be like, hey, like imply that I'm interested to like let you know. I think sometimes like the miscommunication there is like, I don't know if he's actually into me.
Right.
Maybe he doesn't know that she's interested. But the thing is, if she makes it really clear, then he doesn't make a move. Then it means that he's not interested. So I would imply like, oh yeah, like I would flirt more and like Just lay it out there and see what he does.
Man, I don't remember the last time I did this. Like if I couldn't read his body language and I wasn't sure, but I was into him, I would probably be very flirty with him to a point where it's like obvious. And then if he really does not make a move, then I'd probably just move on. There is a level of pride there that that I'd want to like keep for myself. Because if it's like too obvious, then I become desperate and I don't want to come off as desperate. So there's definitely a line of like, how far do you flirt?
It's interesting that you talk about pride because I feel like the flip for me is more fear. Like I know the right answer is that you should flirt, like make it more obvious, right? Yeah. But I usually, if the guy doesn't initiate, then I will just let it lie and I won't and I think it probably comes more from like a fear thing.
Like
I don't
fear
know.
rejection?
Fear of, probably fear of rejection.
Like, so say you didn't go up to him. How would you like him to come up to you? Because I feel like it's tough as a guy because even if you are confident, I think there's a thin line. It comes off sometimes as like, oh, this is a pickup line, or are you good at this? So like, honestly, a lot of times where I had the most success in this scenario has been when I fumbled and was quote unquote bad.
Yeah. Oh, it's like authentic.
It's more natural. Yeah.
Because good reason. A lot of girls have like their guard up, where they're kind of like, "Who's this person I don't know?" You know what I mean?
Less is more too. Just like really not stressing out over it, and just kind of like having a human to human conversation rather than like, oh, I'm a guy about to hit on a girl. That's like so much stress involved.
Yeah. What's the fantasy scenario?
Oh, you want a fantasy scenario or like a real life?
Real life where like you'd be receptive to it, like where the guy comes up to you and does what?
For me, if a guy were just like, "Hey, do you want to grab coffee tomorrow?" Like, it would make me question, is this a date or is this just like a friend getting to know each other? And I think when it's not like so defined that like this is a date, then I'm not so stressed out and he's not so stressed out. So it's like kind of blurred, but like getting to know each other. That's probably the best way for me.
You know what's funny though? I have a situation where that happened to a friend of mine and she thinks it was a hangout and he thought it was a date. And to this day, they still think that.
Oh. Are they dating?
No, they're friends now. But so that's why I'm like, I'd rather not have the lines blurred because I'd rather just make it clear. But for me, it depends on the context. Like, are we at a coffee shop? Are we at a bar? Because if we're at a bar, I'll make it easy for you to make the first move. I'll go next to you and be like, try to order a drink. That way, I'm right next to you. You have no excuse. If we're at a coffee shop, I don't know. Sometimes it's just like, I do get a little creeped out if someone goes, "Hi, I think you're beautiful. I want to go on a date." But part of me is like, but you don't know me. I'd rather like spark a conversation like, "Oh, hey, like I like your planner. Where'd you get?" Like, I don't know, like something like ease into conversation somehow. Like, "Oh, do you mind watching my stuff while I use the restroom?" Like, there's
I like that. The restroom one.
Right, there's a way to ease into it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I feel like that's like a very common interaction, but it's also like you're making a connection.
What if you don't know them?
Yeah.
Excuse me, could you watch my...
Yeah.
Oh, I guess so,
Yeah. Because that's like the least creepy way to actually talk to someone.
Sure.
I would agree with Mel. If it's a complete stranger and you're just trying to initiate some sort of like rapport, just have a conversation, like introduce yourself, and then you'll get feedback pretty quickly too. If they're not open to it, then it's like, okay, don't push anymore. But yeah, if I just had a stranger come up to me and wanted to like introduce themselves or like ask me how my day's going or something like that, like I think I'd be open. If I was attracted to him, I'd be open. And then you can also test out, is there at least initial chemistry? Because maybe you'll figure out there it's like, not someone I want to go to coffee with.
Yeah.
Do you think those kind of pickup lines, like the more aggressive ones, I guess, like maybe even like, because you said earlier, if someone came up to you and said, "Hey, I think you're beautiful. You want to go blah, 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 blah."
Yeah.
Do you think that was more effective before dating apps and social media and everything?
Ooh.
Maybe. And I also feel like nowadays, like it's a good thing. I think women, I feel more empowered. Like, if you just came up to me saying you're beautiful, I'm like, well, you're just judging off physical appearance. And it's like, there's nothing else you're basing this off of. And for me, that's not enough.
I agree. I feel like that could have a backlash. I would become more defensive if you come to me with any line versus just like trying to have a conversation, like a very basic conversation.
I mean, in a sense, like I think the dating app culture, like technically by you swiping right is saying that you're attractive, but now with like Hinge, there's like prompts and stuff. You're kind of get to know them as a person. So I feel like it kind of already takes away that like that pickup line. So nowadays, if you were to come up to me with a pickup line, I'd be even more turned off. It feels very like.
Well, I feel like women are now also a lot more like empowered, and there's also a culture now of like men are kind of gross. Like just the whole Harvey Weinsteins and like all these different cases coming up. It's like if you focus just on the physical aspects and not on the personality, then it is very demeaning actually when you objectify women. So to come up to someone and just be like, "Ooh, you have a nice butt," or something like that, it's like, that is not okay now. Versus I think before people were like kind of like, "Oh, okay, I guess," you know.
Yeah. On the guys, I know it's so frustrating because it's so scary, right?
Yeah.
Say you're attracted to like go to a bar or at a party or at a coffee shop. It's so scary to go up to them, right? Yet the people that have like the most confidence do that bad stuff.
Yeah.
So you're just like, that's what being a guy's like. It's like, well, how do now there's like these creepazoids that are making our kind look bad. So like, what do you do now?
Well,
How do
a
you do it?
truly confident
You know?
man can go up to a woman and just have a normal conversation with her. I would say that is,
Yeah.
because you are also making yourself vulnerable to being rejected.
I think it's like there's a genuineness that you get from a like a hey, how's your day going versus like I think you're, I don't know, it's a different.
Yeah, it's not a good opener line.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, recently this guy was like walking in front of me and then he turned around and I was like, okay. And then he like turned around again. I was like, oh, fuck. And then he was just like, you're beautiful. And I'm like, what do you want from that?
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
that's
creepy.
yeah, I don't like it
like
when-
now you're going to follow me. Now I need to like walk
yeah.
faster and like run across the red
Yeah.
light and risk
And generally, it's
being
like
killed.
avoid eye contact, walk away.
That's the
like-
worst.
I don't understand cat calls. It's like, really, like,
Yeah.
great. What were you hoping from this interaction?
Right. I think catcalls and dick pics, it keeps happening. Universally, no one likes it. Whoa, why did this keep happening?
Yeah.
It's like, by pure data, it does not work, y'all.
This recording session has like taught us that there's so many unanswered questions. Literally, we're looking at the list right now, and we were barely able to hit a lot of them because there's so many things you have to say about these
Yeah,
things, right?
we're freaking out because we were like 3 questions in and oh my god, it's running so long.
There's so many things to talk about. Like I feel like I could bring up like 20 more questions right now.
Well, we have like 20 more questions on this doc still.
I mean, with enough of these questions, maybe we can, in another season, have another round of guys and girls coming together and having some candid conversations.
We just want to say thank you to Jason and Mike for joining us for this episode. We talk about this like, kind of in parties or like in outside of recording sessions. So it's kind of fun to bring you both on and talk about this at the microphone.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Yeah, learned so much today.
This was so fun. No, yeah, because like you said, we always have these conversations
Yeah.
late at night, like at Phil's apartment or something.
Yeah.
And remember, guys, like I don't know about Mike, but I've never ever talked about these type of things online.
No, same, yeah.
And I have a YouTube channel. It's always been like
PG.
rated PG, good boy image, but I'm happy to say that I'm no longer a good boy anymore.
Now that you're on ABG.
Yeah, same. Yeah, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, please don't look down on me. If I said something wrong, don't cancel me. Like I'm here to learn. I did not mean anything bad. If something was misconstrued bad, please.
Oh, I love it. I love the honesty. I think next time we could probably even go deeper.
Oh, for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? Deeper. Well, that is also a wrap on season 5. Crazy 58 episodes. We will be back within 3 months or so, but we're going to take a little bit of time off to just, plan out the rest of this year and think about next season and how we're going to grow this little business of ours. So stay in touch with us. We'll be very active on social media. Follow us on Instagram at Asian Boss Girl, www.asianbossgirl.com.
Yes, we have a newsletter that you can sign up for, asianbossgirl.com/newsletter. We also have our merch that you can shop, asianbossgirl.com/shop. And if you're on iTunes and Spotify, subscribe to us, ABG/AsianBossGirl, and we'll just pop up in your feed the next time we start up again in season 6.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for another season.
We all say bye together. Ready?
Bye.